Hello everybody and welcome, I'm Son of Mowgef. It's 2 Video Tuesday. I'm playing some more Thrive. We're going to continue where we left off, but before that happens, I just need to say sorry, I guess, if I sound weird or different or both. I had some issues with my microphone, or more accurately Windows. It just decided at some point that it was going to uninstall my microphone entirely. I thought it was a connection issue at first, so I checked all the wires and the plugs and, you know, that kind of thing. None of that worked, so once I'd reinstalled it, it all seemed to work fine, but while I was checking the wires, I managed to bump the gain dial almost to maximum, which of course blew out the audio. Luckily, I recorded only a few minutes of that before I looked over at my recording software and realised the waveform was an absolute mess. With all that being said and done, let's get back to it. Alright, I think this is where we left off. Roughly. We've got organelles that are very iron dependent. I think maybe it's going to allow us to be the smallest organism. It seems quite efficient in terms of resource versus size, because we are trying to create the smallest organism possible. It's yeah, definitely an interesting experiment. I can't remember if I mentioned already that it is sort of ended up a rehash of a organism that I tried previously that I dubbed the Iron Man, I think. But that one had like a tough outer shell's not right, is it? Membrane. Membrane is the word. And this one's going to have a soft, squishy outer membrane, which is fine. Even if I switch to the hard one and just, you know, it becomes a clone of the Iron Man organism I tried previously, that's cool. The point of this is to try and make one as small as possible. My original thought was to use photosynthetic cells, and when we're talking about size being the most important, or the lack of it rather, it makes sense not to go that way, because photosynthetic cells create glucose, which doesn't help you at all with the ATP. Well, not completely devoid of helping with the ATP, but it's, you know, not brilliant, since it doesn't produce it directly in sufficient amounts. So then you need metabolosomes and mitochondrion to make the glucose into ATP, which is more organelles. Do you see where I'm going with this? So I'm pretty sure at this point we're in the patch with high concentrations of iron. Yeah, and we're just going to keep adding some of these until we can get one of these. I was about to say we're nowhere near that stage, but this isn't too far off, is it? What am I doing? I'm adding more of these. Let's have a look. I think I can maybe do myself a favour here. This has got... Hang on. I'm going to change this. Game, please. So this has got 3 bits there. If I make this the right shape, I can just slot this right in. Sort of. That sounds weird when I say it like that. Let's have a look. I'm still going to have to move some of these organelles, but I think if I later move these to there and that to there and this somewhere else, I can then get rid of this one in the middle and just go and slot the nucleus in there. I'm pretty sure it doesn't make that noise when organisms develop nuclei, but I tend to make weird noises. in case you're new to the channel. It's just a case of gathering some more iron at this point. Okay, well that was largely uneventful, so we're skipping straight over to the editor. Can I get one of these yet? Kinda, actually. Let's see if I can rearrange things like I said I was going to do first of all. So if I move this here, and move this here, need 70 for that. But I can move this here. Oh, if I delete this, I'm not going to have enough mutation points to put the nucleus in there. I think technically I can, yeah, I was going to say, I think technically I can just drop it in there. I did notice during my in-world play just a moment ago that glucose was an issue. I'm not sure if that sounds like a bad thing to me. I've had experiences in the past where not having any glucose was a bad thing. So, yeah, we'll see how this goes. Is, perhaps... Oh, wait. Got no glucose. I've not even got a measurement for glucose. In fact, it appears to be me leaking it. It's kind of interesting. It might just be a case of just surviving now. This is about as small as you can make things with a nucleus. But if I can reach the multicellular stage, then maybe I can continue just to make a small multicellular organism, which seems to be a case of just repeating the patterns that I've already been using. Just putting everything immediately into the middle, or as close to the middle as possible. What I could do, just, you know, for funsies, is do that up to the point where I'm ready to go macroscopic, and then compare the size of the organism to the one that I previously had, which was deliberately big, as opposed to, you know, deliberately small. I'm also aware that it's very late in the day. This is going to be a remarkably short video. I mentioned in the intro, I just had issues today. Bloody Windows just does whatever it decides is best, even if it's utterly absurd and remarkably inconvenient to my schedule. Right, again, largely uneventful. What I need to work towards, but God, I can't do words either today. What I need to work towards is getting the bonding agent, which is there. Binding. I keep saying bonding when I mean binding. I also keep saying absorb when I mean engulf. Again, words are hard. Because that will allow me to attach to other cells and go eventually multicellular. Do I have the ATP for that? Ooh, just barely. If these are 45 and these are 55, hang on a minute. What I'd like to do is if I move this one to here, I can then grab one of these and keep it somewhat symmetrical. Let's go do some joining, shall we? A signaling agent might also be good, but it's not essential, so I probably won't be using it. Let's have a look. Hey you, come over here. Hey. Boop, there's one. I need 3 more. Hey you, come over here. Hey. Wow. These cells are surprisingly antisocial. Let me grab some iron quick. Oh, there are other organisms here. There we go. They look quite big as well. I wonder if they can engulf me. I nearly did it. I nearly said absorb. Let's go boop, like this. That one, that green nasty cell coming at me. Let's grab this guy. Boop. There we go. I can become multicellular already. That was pretty quick progress, wasn't it? It was for me. I normally do lots of pedantic things that aren't entirely necessary. Yeah. Okay, so let's do the multicellular thing. This attachment is so strange. Yeah, it has just occurred to me that creating a deliberately small cell is gonna leave me prone to being eaten, but we'll deal with that problem when we get to it. Just let me do a manual save quickly. There we go. Now we can go multicellular. Boop. Right. It's just a case of adding some of these on now. I can get rid of the binding, not bonding agent to make this somewhat smaller as well, can't I? If I modify this type. Oh no, you can't do that because I need it. Doi. I did a dumb. So let's, yeah, just continue. And just pop these all the way around, like so. I think I need 25 in total. Go macroscopic, but let's just do this. And look, there's one there. It's tiny compared to my last organism. Not my last one, but the one before that. The one that was massive. I don't know if you can make one smaller than this. I may have to try it. Again, my first instinct was to go with the photosynthetic cells. It might be possible that using those photosynthetic cells along with metabolosomes and mitochondria and that thing will result in a smaller organism due to it being more efficient. I think not. But it might also be worth trying. Oh, there we go. It's 20, not 22. I think. Oh god, yeah. Look at that. Look. These giant purple things are going to munch on us, aren't they? Might actually be worth getting the solid shell. Sorry, I'm being distracted by the fact my neighbour appears to be drilling into the wall that's directly behind me, and it's loud. Not just loud, I can literally feel the vibrations from the damn drill. I'm gonna steer away from these things just in case they're hostile and can eat me. Keep a safe distance. It's another thing that I might have to change now that I think about it. I can change the behaviour, can't I? If I change them to... Yup, they can definitely eat me. If I change them to cowardly and docile... Oh, why is it that I can't get the right words? It's not docile, it's sessile, isn't it? Sessile. Depending on where you're from, it changes. Oh no. Oh no. I'm between a rock and a hard place here. It needs to be able to stay within this cloud of iron. If I can't get rid of the other organisms competing for the resources, then it's going to get rough really quickly, isn't it? And again, I'm not sure if these clouds deplete over time. That is also a question I'm not sure about. I am surprised at the speed of this. It seems pretty quick. Being a smaller organism, I should have expected that, but I'm not used to things being so simple. I am very aware that these organisms are dying. If that continues to be a trend, then it may help me out. If the competition is killing itself regularly, then it's not going to remain competition for all that much longer, is it? It doesn't mean I can stop trying to avoid them. I definitely still need to do that, but if I can give them the runaround until they die, then do myself a favour. What's that one doing? He was doing a spinny-do. Hey, the spinny-do of doom only works when you're spiked or have other advantages that allow you to kill things. Yeah, look, this one's dying as well. I wonder if I can engulf its parts without myself getting engulfed. Oh god, oh god. Nope, no, leave. He can have the remains of that. It's coming at me as well. I don't want to add flagellum to this organism because it's going to make it bigger than necessary. Oh my god, there's so many of these all of a sudden. Help. Help me. Things are going south rather quickly. Oh, something died up here. Oh god. Wait, can it? I mean, there's one engulfed there, but these... Oh, yes, it can. I was going to say, these ones are literally touching the other one and they're not being eaten. Interesting. I do seem faster than them, so I should be able to outmaneuver. Go ahead and... although adding more cells is going to make me slower, isn't it? And that hard shell is also going to make me slower. I believe. Correct. If I say do this. Yeah, minus 30% base mobility. And none of these increase it. Interesting. It makes me wonder if it's worth converting to one of these, but I think being able to absorb the minerals in the world at a good rate is probably a benefit to the species, since it's the only way it can stay alive. Yeah, I guess, let me change the behaviour. Go peaceful, cautious, fearful. There we go, that's the word I was looking for. And responsive. I always slide things like to the maximum point just to make it more pronounced. Oh, that was the wrong button. So that's... I think that's fine, isn't it? I don't really need to change all that much more. It is surviving. It's about as small as I can make it. It does make me wonder, actually, now that I think about it, could I maybe remove a few of these to make it even smaller? I don't think I can get away with doing that because I've barely got enough resources for the ATP here as it is, but I just want to do maybe an experiment. What am I doing here? If I get rid of one of these, yeah, one is the difference. Boop. There we go, put that back. Right, let's see how this goes. If I can survive. It would appear that bad things are happening to these larger cells. They are paying attention to the behavioural changes I've made. It seems so confused. I can't really say I blame it all that much. They are just hanging out until something nasty happens and then dealing with it then. Reserving energy. Feel like that's a good way to go. It's a shame I can't tell what creature those organelles came from. It has just occurred to me that I appear to be using more iron than I'm gathering. The concentrations were fairly low. Oh yeah, look. These other organisms are in fact consuming the dead versions of their own species. Is expected. I mean, it's literally free resources, isn't it? They do seem to be dying on a regular basis. Maybe we can make good use of that. Oh, look, there's a me that's dying there. A colony of me's, actually. There's plenty of iron here. I wonder why they're not going for it. I wonder if I've maybe made them too sessile. I might have to dial that up a little bit. Or back, depending on your viewpoint. Maybe I've made them too lazy. It's not impossible that they're killing themselves just because they're not going for the resources they need. That's not a good move on my part. I dare say there's a good balance that I have yet to reach in terms of that behavior slider. Does seem like it's consuming itself as well. Like, some of the cells die and then the remaining cell consumes the parts. I think that's another dead big guy like this one. I don't want to get too close. I'm definitely not obeying the behavioural rules that I've set up for the other ones. Like, I'm constantly moving, which is probably a bad idea, but I'm full of bad ideas. Bend me right round, baby, right round, like a copyright strike, round, round, round. Okay, evolution time once again. I wanna change this so they're less still. I don't want it as far as the middle, so they're halfway between this and this. But I do want them to be less this and more this, but not entirely this. Welcome to my channel, everybody, where I say dumb things and pretend they actually mean something. Oh, no, that was also the wrong thing. I don't want to modify type, I want to add some more cells, don't I? Which means another outer area here. If I do this, I want to add them fairly symmetrically, so I know I've got enough mutation points for extra ones. I'm just not going to put them down right now. And currently we have an arrow-headed organism. It's fine by me. Okay, well, that's all I've got time for today, sadly. That's been fun and interesting. Sure, like and subscribe if you didn't do that already. I would very much appreciate it. Comments in the comments section, they're always welcome. I always appreciate the comments on these Thrive videos in particular. I get little biology lessons and little bits of advice about this specific game and some few other scattered funny things, so thank you to all those people that take the time to do that. I'm going to be also doing, what am I doing today? Hydronet, because it is in fact 2 Video Tuesday. So if you come along for that, I'll see you then.